Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hi, Njoki. Karibu sana, Njoki. Benja, karibu sana. Hello. Thank you, Christine. Kish, karibu sana. Flower Mania Kenya, karibu, karibu, karibu. Njoki, thank you so much. Faith, karibu. Flo, karibu sana. Sister, karibu. Whoa. So we are waiting for our guest speaker. I hope you can wait for a little bit. We promise not to keep you waiting. We'll be starting in a bit. And we are so excited. Diana Nekesa, karibu sana. And my bestie is online. Shikim. Thank you. All the way from Korea. Karibu sana. Hello, hello. Mercy, we're waiting for you. Yes, Joki, next time I'll be showing you how to make a flower crown for indeed. Charlene, you made it. Thank you. Hi, Francis. I can see you're online. Thank you so much all the way from, FloraLife. We feel your support. So we're waiting for Mercy to join in, and once she joins in, we'll be able to start. And I know we are all expectant of, learning so much more about, taking care of our flowers. Finally, Wanjeri is here. Mercy is here. Request, which I've accepted. Thank you, Flavia. Thank you. Hi, Kate. Karibu sana. Oh, thank you, Charlene. Next time I'll be showing how to make a flower crown. Hi, Mercy. Karibu. Karibu.
Hi, Rosemary.
Hi, finally. I can see we have quite a number. We have quite a number of people joining in. And I think we'll just begin immediately. Hi, Mercy. You're looking so lovely.
Hi, Rosemary.
Hi. So I think we should start, and because I can see we have quite a number of us have joined in. Hi, Anduta. Karibu sana. And so good evening, everyone. I hope you've had a lovely Sunday. I enjoyed mine, and I'm glad that you could join us today. This is actually our very first live video and on this platform, and we really hope that you will have fun, and most importantly that you'll take some key learning points to take care of your cat flowers. And I will start by introducing myself, although I can see most of the people here know me so well. Yeah, but I'm Rosemary Kinuthia. And apart from the fact that my parents named me after a type of a flower that is very common in Kenya, and a herb as well, I am also a flower enthusiast with a bias for natural flowers and plants. And apart from that, the fact that I'm starting this live video, I'm also the founder of Kenya Flower Festival. And Kenya Flower Festival is a social platform that brings together all my fellow flower enthusiasts, florists, flower growers, and everything flowers. So we learn and we learn with flowers, and we even celebrate this beautiful piece of nature that God gave us. So last year we held our the first ever flower festival in Kenya, last year in October at the Lord Hall, and it was such a beautiful experience. We hope to bring you even bigger and better festivals and flower parades. So the inspiration behind this is to inculcate a culture of exchanging flowers amongst each other in Kenya, a norm that ensures that we can offer flowers just like any other gift. You know, the way we offer a shoe or any other gift treat that we are able to offer other people. So we hope that we can get to a place where in Kenya we could be able to give out, to exchange flowers just like any other gift treat. Kenya is renowned and is the 4th largest flower exporter globally. And we are fondly known as the Garden of Europe. And I believe that with your support, even by joining a platform as this, we can embrace this culture one at a time. And now to get to the root of the matter today, I know most of us are asking ourselves, what are cat flowers? And maybe I'll start by, defining what a cat flower is. Cat flowers are flowers or flower buds, often with a stem and a leaf, that have been cut from the plant that is bearing it. And usually we cut them from the plant for decorative purposes. And I believe that flowers are actually part of the purpose and part of the use, and the biggest percentage of the use is for decorative purposes. And we recently ran a poll asking us whether it is indeed a struggle to keep our beautiful flowers, these cut flowers, longer than we would expect. And agreeably, 81% of us indeed felt it is an uphill task. And today we are privileged to have a speaker who will help us unpack those tips that will ensure that the flowers are able to stay with us a little longer than it would mostly stay. And I can see we have, quite a number of us who've joined in. I can see quite a number of us. Jocelyn, karibu sana. Yeah, so without further ado, allow me to introduce the speaker of the day, Mercy Kinuthia. And Mercy Kinuthia is the technical sales at the Oasis FloraLife. She has over 20 years of experience, in cut flower industry with a bias towards post-harvest care and flower quality. She holds a Bachelor of Science in Horticulture and is also pursuing her master's. I know she's just about to submit that paper, that one that we all submit, And so she's pursuing her master's in science, project management at JKUAT. So karibu sana Mercy for offering to be with us this Sunday evening and have a chat with us. And I want to allow you to just say hello to all of us and briefly tell us who FloraLife is. Where in the world are you located? And most importantly, remember to tell us who Mercy is in a nutshell, apart from the definition that I've given of the career and the fact that you work for FloraLife. So karibu sana Mercy. Take it up.
Thank you. Thank you, Rosemary. And it's good to be here with all of you. Let me first start about FloraLife. And FloraLife is a care and handling company, which is a division of Smithers Oasis. The FloraLife brand was born in 1938 when the first flower food was invented in Chicago, in Illinois. And then in 2007, Smithers Oasis acquired FloraLife. And by doing that, it brought two heritage brands on board, and that is Oasis Floral Products and FloraLife. So our purpose as FloraLife is to help people express and experience emotion by adding value to flowers and plants. And our vision is that we will touch every flower worldwide. So our overarching message is that we follow the flowers and the plants. Globally, we are located in all the major flower growers and consumer areas, and are headquartered in the US at Kent, Ohio. So we basically have offices in South America, in Europe, in Asia, in Australia, and in Africa. We are here in Kenya. You can find us, our office and warehouse at Mombasa Road, next to Nation Printers, at the Unpack Africa godowns. So Mercy basically just enjoys flowers, loves flowers, and everything good about quality flowers. Let me put it briefly as that.
I love that.
Yes.
Quality
Thank
flowers.
You, Rosemary.
And today we are going to learn exactly that, how to keep our flowers, in good shape, and maintaining them and handling them well, because they're so important. So thank you so much, Mercy, for that great intro. And to add on to that, FloraLife are our partners. They participated in the last year's Flower Festival. Those of us who attended could have interacted with Mercy and Francis at the stand. And great, so on to the meat of the day. Mercy, why is flower care handling important to me as a florist, and also as an end consumer who basically just want to have my flowers, in good shape in the house? I've received a birthday present in flowers. How do I keep them? Why is it important for me to care for them and handle them well?
Okay, flower care and handling is important to everyone, basically the florist, the consumer, anybody who's going to have some flowers at any one point. And why we say it's important is because flowers are a perishable commodity. They've been severed from the root system. They've been cut from the root system. So of course, it's important to care and handle the flowers properly to ensure that they last long. And flower care is important basically to improve the quality of the flowers. We are looking at how long is this flower going to last. It also helps us to reduce wastage or rejects if the flowers have been cared for properly. You avoid seeing, all those damages that you see on the petals and the flowers blackening and wilting if they're not cared for properly. And especially for a florist, it's important for their customer image because they want to retain customers. So you want return customers. So you need to handle the flowers properly so that this person you sold the flowers to can come back again and buy more flowers from you because they enjoyed the experience of the flowers that they got. And remember that most people, or even the industry, tells us that we should expect at least 7 days from these flowers. And it is possible if cared for and handled correctly.
So why do my flowers wilt very fast, and what are some of the basics to keeping them longer? And probably just to give us those basics that we need to have to ensure that the flowers don't wither on the second day of receiving them or having them in the home.
What happens is, as we said, flowers are perishable, and you've removed them, you've cut them from the mother plant, yeah? So when they were on the plant, it has a root system, So it's able to keep the water going up, the food nutrients that it needs. So once you have these flowers and you do not put them in, say, in a hydration solution, you find that they will start drooping or wilting. So what happens is that when the flowers are drooping or wilting, it means they are losing more water than what they're taking up. You also find that if you mishandle flowers, that they will also wither or droop and wilt very quickly. Keeping flowers also in very high temperatures makes them wilt and droop also very quickly. So it's very important, the basics, keep the flowers hydrated. You avoid rough handling, avoid very sunny spots or direct sunlight. So basically that's avoiding the high temperatures. And if you do all that, ideally, then you should have good flowers. They will not wilt, they should not droop because of the lack of water.
Well, so that's a really good, basics to, and that is something that we can all be able to do. And how about the container that I'm using? Does it improve the vast life of my flowers? Or what kind of a container am I expected to use to actually ensure that my flowers, improve? I mean, I'm able to improve the vast life of these flowers.
When you look at the container, the key thing with the container is how clean is that container? And we're coming now into sanitation and disinfection. Yeah, so the containers need to be cleaned well, disinfected, cleaned, such that if we say cleanliness is next to godliness, and someone also said that the container needs to be clean enough that you could actually drink the water right out of that container if you put water in it, because flowers need a clean environment. So without a clean environment, then of course you're going to have problems with your flowers. So the container is not only the type of the container. You can use any type of container, but it needs to be well cleaned and disinfected.
Okay. And how about the temperature? I know you mentioned that we need to keep our flowers far from the sun, of course, and of course there is a certain temperature that is recommended for that. Could I keep my flowers, say, in the kitchen, in the bedroom? For example, let's just imagine I received my flowers in the office. It was supposed to be my birthday, and somebody sent the flowers into the office. So can I keep them in the office, or is there, a better room that would best fit for me to keep these flowers?
You can keep your flowers basically anywhere in the house. Even in the kitchen, you could have them on the windowsill because there's enough light, there's aeration and everything. When you talk about temperature and flowers, is when it's extremely hot, you find that the flowers will respire much faster. So at times you will find that if you had put water in a vase, it depletes quite quickly. And so you need to add more water into the vase because the flower is taking up a lot because of the transpiration process that is happening. So you can actually keep your flowers anywhere. But the main thing is, like, if it's like as a florist, especially where you're located, the outdoor florist or something, you need to have a shade. Don't have that direct heat beating on the flowers, because then you will see the flowers behaving or starting to droop or wilt. So you'd need to have a shade.
Hello? I don't know. I think we lost some.
Hello, yes.
Thank you to technology issues. And viewers, remember that we are taking up questions. Remember to ask as much as you can. We will ensure that we are able to answer them at the end of the session. So Mercy, I've also heard that recut of flowers also increases vast life. How is it done, and when should one consider to do a recut? And which are some of the tools that I can use to do the recut of flowers?
It has always been that when you get flowers, you need to recut at least 2 centimeters. And okay, recutting, you can use secateurs, you can use scissors, or you can use a sharp knife. And what recutting does is that it opens up the stem end, so the pores are now open to start uptaking the solution or the water that you put the flowers in. And what has changed a lot now in the industry or in these times that we are in is that we have now better sanitation. We have improved chemistry of the flower foods. We have improved hydration solutions. So as FloraLife, we have a breakthrough technology where we have a hydration product for flower food where you actually can use without the need to recut the stems. And what this does is that if you don't need to recut the stems, then of course there's less labor, you have less trash, you can put the flowers straight into either the bucket or the flower vase, you don't need to recut. But again, if you have flowers and especially if you're a florist and you've kept your flowers and maybe 3 days have passed and there are some flowers that are unsold, it is ideal or recommended to recut and put change the solution and put in fresh solution, just so that the flowers are in a clean solution, because over time you get bacterial growth building up in the solutions.
Great. I'm sure we are learning a lot, and just to mention that we have a box down there that has a question mark for those of us who would love to ask some questions. So you just click on that box on the lower part. There's a question mark just down there, and you can go ahead and ask the questions. So interesting to note that flowers, just like any other living organism, need food, nutrition. They need some nutritional value. So what is flower food, and why should I use it, and how is it administered?
Flower food was actually designed for supermarkets, retail florists, even consumers, end users. And it's basically food. I mean, it's like how you need food to survive, to live. So flowers also need something, because as we said, we have removed them from the main plant where they were getting all the food and nutrients from. So now we're giving them an alternate source of nutrients. So flower foods basically encourages the flowers to properly start opening and showing their vibrant colors. They promote the uptake for hydration, and they also provide nutrition and keep the stems clear and free-flowing. So flower foods have, within the components of flower food, so you're providing food for the flowers, so it has a source of food. It also has acidifying agent that allows the stems to take up water better, because this lowers the pH of the water. And then it also contains stem unpluggers. And this prevents the bacteria, the microbes, from growing too fast in the vase water, because we said you cannot avoid bacteria. It will always be there, but you can slow down or prevent the multiplication of the bacteria. So these flower foods have stem unpluggers, as we call them, and they help to keep the vase water clean and the stems free-flowing.
Awesome. So as FloraLife, what are some of the steps? I know you're experts in flower care and handling. What are some of the steps you recommend us to consider in cut flower care? That is, of course, talking to the florists and as well as an end consumer.
When we look at the steps, we actually would say we have the five steps of fresh.
Okay.
Cutting tools, the buckets that you're using, and this will help maximize the flower quality and the vase life. And for this, we have a product called Cleaner Plus that does the work. Then the next step, we would say step number 2 is to hydrate. And by this, we use a product that will help jumpstart the flowers by unclogging the stem cells, and so helps improve the flower food uptake. So for this, we have Quick Dip that florists can use when they receive the flowers from a vendor or from their supplier. They've been in a box, most likely supplied in a box. Sometimes maybe they pick them themselves in buckets with water. But if they've come in a box, these flowers have maybe stayed there for some time, and they don't look as good. They look a bit maybe droopy or wilted. So quick dip will help like instantly hydrate the flowers and open up the pores. And then after that, you can move to the next step, which is nourishing, whereby we are providing nutrients to either start opening the flowers slowly before you sell everything, or to fully bloom or open the flowers, depending on if you have an event that you're doing and you need fully open flowers. So for this, we have Express 200 or Express 300, which can be used. Then the next step is protect. You need to protect the flowers. And this is basically you refresh, like you've made an arrangement and or a table arrangement or even those wedding arrangements. And you need to refresh and hydrate and protect the flowers with a final step of a finishing spray. So this would help, or this actually helps extend the life of the flower. So it keeps them looking fresh and for longer. And for this, the product we have is called Finishing Touch. Then, of course, now the final step, which we'll always say at the end of it all, it's to the consumer, we need to consider our customer care. If I'm a florist, I'm selling the flowers to the consumer, and I want this consumer to enjoy these flowers for a long time and come back for a repeat sale for me, then I supply flower food. And we've talked about flower food. So we help take care of the flowers long after they've been left, you've sold them to the consumer. And this gives you a longer life for the flowers. So those, I would say, is the key steps that we have, the 5 steps of fresh: sanitize, hydrate, nourish, protect, and of course, customer care.
Awesome. And I know you've addressed the florist, and I know there's somebody who would love to start a florist shop, and there are really factors that somebody would consider coming up with a shop. I know this is so off from what you've just discussed, and I'll come back to what you've just discussed, especially addressing the end consumer. But considering now in terms of a florist, what are some of the factors that I would consider if I want to come up with a florist shop?
For a florist shop, of course, you look at location in the sense of what market are you targeting? Though in this day of technology, we have internet, so you're probably going to do online sales or maybe walk-in sales. So the location might not matter so much, but if you want a store, then yes, I think that is one of the factors. Of course, I think one of the key things with if you're going to do a shop and you're keeping flowers is the flower care in the sense of sanitation. Your buckets need to be clean. And we said that if you have unsold flowers, like after 3 days, you would need to recut and put in fresh solution. I find people with shops receiving flowers and putting them all on the floor or on the boxes because you say that you don't need to do so much with the flowers. But I think it's important if you're going to have or ensure good quality flowers and to have the community or the Kenyans saying we are able to get quality flowers from our stores, then we need to handle those flowers. So avoid like dumping all the flowers together. You can put them in buckets and have a proper post-harvest solution in it. Also, your source of flowers, yeah, where are you getting your flowers? You need to look at your supplier or the vendor, yeah. Are they supplying you good quality flowers? Check your deliveries, ensure that what you ordered is what you have received and what you're going to pay for. And also, if you don't get good quality flowers, communicate to the vendor, then they make sure they supply you good flowers. If they give you good flowers, and of course, communicate again, you know, and that way you build a good rapport. And also, I think it's important as florists to lean on each other with other florists, you know. You also learn a lot from your other florists, yeah, especially if you're starting up.
Indeed. I love that particular part about the, giving feedback. And I believe no feedback, whether positive, negative feedback is really important. and it's important to actually talk to our florists and even our growers. When we receive bad quality flowers, when you receive good quality flowers, please give us feedback so that, you know, we improve and, you know, we can be able to give out to sell good flowers. And I know there's that bit that you discussed about the 5 steps, on the ones that we need to consider. That is sanitize, hydrate, nourish, you know, protect, and customer care. And when it comes to the end consumer, which parts do you feel the customer need to remember most? Because I can see there are some people here who are really, you know, looking forward to have some takeout in terms of what they can start using today as a consumer. So,
Sorry. For the consumer, the key thing is the flower food that you get with the flowers. If you can insist on getting some flower food, I think that would be good. I know it's not everybody who sells flowers with
yes.
flower food, but it makes a big difference. And if you can do a test, just take a bunch of flowers, divide it in half, put some in plain water and some with water that you put flower food, and just observe what you will see. There's a big difference when you use the flower food.
Great. So
for the consumer, I think the flower food is a key thing.
okay. Awesome. So I am sure after this, most of us would love to to buy some of these products. And I believe they're in Kenya, and in as much as FloraLife is a multinational organization. So Mercy, how can we find these products? Where can we find them? And how can we reach out to you if we want to, you know, buy some of these items like the flower food and all those items that we would love to purchase?
For all these items, you can find us physically, as I said, at our location on Mombasa Road, next to Nation Printers, Sunpack Africa Godowns. We also have a Facebook page where you can interact with us, Oasis Floral Products Kenya, and you can search for it on Facebook at Smithers Oasis Kenya. And if you want to buy, if you don't want to come to the warehouse, we have a web shop, oasisfloral.co.ke. So any of those means you'd be able to get in touch with us. That would be myself, Mercy Kinuthia, or Francis Nteere.
Awesome. I believe we have so many tips that we carry today. And Mercy, do you also hold such training sessions? Because I believe this is just a basic part of it. And probably some of us would love to have given demonstration, sampling. Do you hold such training sessions, and how can we register to the same?
We do hold sessions, and if anyone is interested, you can reach out to us, especially through the Facebook page, and then we can organize, or directly if you with our contacts, which I believe Rosemary will post later, and we can always organize on a convenient location. And yes, it is very possible to do the training.
Awesome, because I have seen Nancy has mentioned that yes, some florists will give you the flower food with you, but some of them may not be able to give out some flower food. So basically, it's also good to talk to the florist to ensure that they're able to provide and at least even sell. But if you're not able to, I believe Mercy and Francis will be able to help, because they have the different locations where we will be able to post the contacts after this. So anybody who would be interested in the same. And Mercy, you mentioned you have a Facebook page, FloraLife.
Yes, the Facebook page is known Oasis Floral Products Kenya.
Okay, I believe that's also
Oasis Floral Products.
Oasis Floral Products Kenya. So guys, in case you find yourself, probably you have flowers at home, and you've had a handful of the cuts and you'd love to preserve them. Basically what you do, just go to their page and request to be able to get these products. And I can see we have some questions. Let me see, we have some questions, and we have a question from Kate. And I think that one you've already mentioned. I mean, answered. Is there a preservative I can add to the water? Basically, that's a very good question. I wanted to also ask on behalf of Kate, because I've seen what she's trying to ask. Sometimes we have water that is pH. The pH is not so good for the. I mean, it's not so conducive for the plant of flower. So is there a corrective way to do it, or how do I know that my water is okay to use for my flowers?
I would say if you find that you're having issues with your water, your flowers are not behaving the right way, we have some simple tools that we can use to check the flower quality. And I would advise that you get in touch. We'd get your water sample and just it briefly, and then now we can actually discuss on exactly how you do it, because we would need the tools to check. You see, water can look clean, but it doesn't mean that it's the best water to use. Yeah. So, and you cannot tell with just your eyes, but with the tools, we are able to advise you better.
Awesome. I can see Nancy's question. Ideally, how long should roses survive? And is the secret purchasing before the petals fully open? Good question.
Good question. That will actually depend on, okay, for roses, there's quite a bit of factors on the variety and the cut stage that the flowers were harvested at. But most times you're buying the flowers when they are just slightly starting to open. And so when you put them in flower food, you expect that they'll open fully, and you can get at least 7 days from those flowers before they start dying out. You can get at least the 7 days. If you buy the flowers when they are very open, of course, then they will not last 7 days. They might do 3 or 4 days, but that's because they have bloomed completely. So it's also good to buy a flower that is not fully open. Then you can enjoy the flower much longer.
Awesome. So much to learn today. I hope, guys, you're enjoying, and I hope you're learning, you're taking notes. I saw Nancy and Pelosi were taking notes. They had notebooks. So I can believe that most people have learned so much. I don't know whether there are any more questions. I don't think we have any more questions, but Mercy, would you have anything that you think that probably the viewers would love to know? Probably something that we've not discussed.
I think maybe what I didn't mention is when it comes to the flower food or the hydration solution, you have the storage solution like Express 200. It's always important to dose correctly for the best performance of the flower food. Avoid overdosing or underdosing, because it reduces the effectiveness of the flowers. And by this, I mean, if it is the flower food, probably it has come in a sachet of maybe half liter or 1 liter of water. So put 1 liter of water, add the sachet of flower food if it is for 1 liter. If it is for half liter, then use half liter of water. Don't use eye measurements. It's very critical for the flowers, because you're going to affect the effectiveness of the flower food.
Awesome. We are really grateful that you joined us this evening, Mercy. I don't know whether somebody else would have a question. There's somebody asking, any tips for keeping tulips blooming longer? Charlene is asking. Yes.
For tulips, we actually have a special flower food for tulips, but unfortunately we don't have that here in Kenya. But the regular flower food that we have, the Express Universal 300, should work on your tulips perfectly. It should help them to bloom for longer.
All right. I believe she can be able to get in touch with somebody in the UK. I can see she's not in the country. All right. So there's also a question here about how about home remedies? Do they work, and what are some of the remedies that you would consider or advise someone who would love to just try something out at home?
Home remedies there, and there are many. I mean, I've had you people will use is it jig, which is bleach, chlorine, added possibly with sugar. I've also heard about using I think it's Sprite soda or something. And the difference with the home remedies and the commercial products that you have, like the flower food, is that it's not a guessing game to get it right or to know that this exactly will work. Because with the flower foods, you find it's been formulated exactly for the flowers. With the home remedies, you may get it right today, tomorrow it's not quite right, and you find sometimes that your stems get burnt on the bottom, which is some sort of phytotoxicity, or the leaves dry out because there's too much of one thing or another, or you find there's the water becomes very murky sort of because there's too much bacterial growth, too much sugar in the solution. So yes, they're there, and I know people use them, but if you can at least get some commercial flower food, it's been designed to work perfectly for the flowers because the ratios are correct. They've been scientifically, they've done some R&D, research and development, and come up with that specific formula.
Awesome. So guys, don't use any home remedy. You're not sure it's gonna work. But most importantly, remember the 5 steps. Sanitize. Okay, not sanitizing the one for washing our hands at this point in time when we are sanitizing our hands. But there's a particular sanitized product that Mercy mentioned about. Then there's hydrate, there's nourish, protect, and definitely the customer care is you taking care of that flower, ensuring that it's able to last 7 days to the maximum. So I can see Nancy is asking us a question. Please hook us up later with florists that sell quality cuts around the country. Thank you. This is actually a very good recommendation that you've made. And yes, we'll be able to share that on our platform. And we hope to also have such a conversation with florists around how they actually get these quality flowers and how they maintain them as well. Because we also, in as much as I know Mercy is telling us do this, but we need to also know, is it actually happening? So for sure we'll organize a roundtable discussion around these. And once we organize that, we'll be able to invite you. And thank you so much, Nancy, for that recommendation. I can see most of us are, commenting and saying that they've learned, they've had so much to take home, and we are really happy that that's the case, and we are really grateful that you joined in today. This is actually our first live video conversation that we've had since we actually started up Kenya Flower Festival, and we are happy that Mercy and Francis, you agreed to do this with us. And I believe all of us have learned so much, and I hope you will now be able to share as many flowers with each other, because that is why we are here. We are here to inculcate that culture of exchanging flowers and ensuring that we are able to exchange flowers just as we do other gifts, because we are known for that. I'm repeating this because of some people who came in a bit late when we had already started, and just to mention that is our main objective, that we hope to actually inspire as many people to be able to support the local, because this is what we are growing in our country, and this is what actually establishes who we are. We are known out there for flowers, but how about our country? Think about that. Do we actually know ourselves for flowers? And just the same way we were able to do to change the narrative for tourism in Kenya, I believe we can be able to change the same narrative with flowers. and we'll be able to support the local, buy local, support the local, and look beautiful. Because I mean, we love flowers. We love planting flowers around our homes, and we love, you know, a piece of it as a reminder to our different occasions, our friendship, our relationships, our anniversaries. So we hope that with these key learning points, we'll be able to carry this home, and we'll be able to share as much flowers as we can, and we'll be able to also manage our flowers and keep them well. So for more of such conversations, all things flowers, keep it here. We are on Facebook as well. You can follow us on Facebook. And to Mercy and Francis and the entire FloraLife organization, thank you for making this session a success. We hope to plug into other conversations soon. So guys, thank you so much. I can see Nancy saying buy flowers and
Thank
tag
you, everyone
Rosemary
who has
as you
joined
take
in.
care of them. Thank you very much. When you buy flowers, please tag Kenya Flower Festival. We'll be so excited to share that. So thank you so much. We wish you a great evening and a beautiful week ahead. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Rosemary, too, for hosting us, for hosting me. Bye.
Bye-bye, Mercy. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Maureen. Bye. Thank you, Diana. See you.